Hello and welcome back to the Duel of Ages 2 Triad25 campaign. My name is Craig Thompson Wood and we are now on to turn 10. We're getting down to the final moments of this game, and honestly, any moment could be the final moment now with the way things are going for Team White. Team Black could win by a Valor win if they can just eliminate a couple more of Team Black's teammates, which is entirely possible. However, Team White has a bit of a plan to come back from that and maybe do a little bit, and who knows, maybe even turn the game around. We'll see what happens in this turn. So going to jump straight into turn White. I'm going to jump straight into Team White turn 10. So going in order of respect, just so I don't forget anything, I'm going to start off with Panopolis. Well, actually, there's no free actions because I guess Panopolis could pass off his, he has the ability to pass off things to anybody on the map. So I think the fact that he's in a dome doesn't matter. He's got these gloves, but honestly, there's nobody who is really going to benefit from those gloves right now. So it's just, he's better off keeping that for other purposes here, which, purpose being he can use the gloves to just get rid of this thing on the base. He's going to come down and try and clean up this base and take away Team Black's points from the base. So he's going to do just that. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's his big 5 movement. Ace Cannon. Ace Cannon's up here next to this giant dog pile of Team Black over here. So you've got Sheridan, you've got Karina Karlsdottir, you've got Sven the Netmender, and you have Agent 911, all on the goodies that were dropped by what's her name now? Sorry. She's dead, and I've already forgotten her. Leah Vestry, the test subject. So both Leah Vestries have died. That was the last one to die. Dropped her stuff there. So anyway, so Ace Cannon's just going to, he's going to jump on top. Right now, I think their best bet to prevent losing by Valor is to kill Sheridan, because Sheridan's at the 1 wound, and actually even Karina Karlsdottir's at 2 wounds. So to that end, Benedict Arnold's going to jump on top too. Now, Robin Hood could also join the fight. I think that's not necessary. I think we're going to be okay with just that. And in fact, Robin Hood has another mission here. He's going to come into here, and you can see that Team Black does have a token in the Colonial Labyrinth. If Robin Hood can take that out, that's another point removed for Team Black, and that's going to help further the cause. And then finally, we have Reaver Mark 7. And Reaver Mark 7 is under this Velociraptor here. So Reaver Mark 7, he can move or shoot, but not both. So really, I think at this point, the Reaver Mark 7 is really nothing else they can do, because he can't shoot with the Raptor in the space. If he moves, he's not going to be able to shoot. And if he moves, he's not going to reach them. I think it's just do or die here, like literally do or die. He just has to kill the Velociraptor, and then he'll have some options, next turn. So, hold on, Reaver Mark 7 moves 5, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? We're going to just do that. We're just going to move Reaver Mark 7 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way, if something happens here untoward and just the people start running that way, at least he's going to be able to get some shots, like a shot off with his with one of his weapons. So we'll leave it at that. And then it's on to nobody. So that's it for the movements. So go running on to Op Fire, and there is nobody to Op Fire. Because the Karina Karlsdottir, Sven the Netmender, Sheridan, nobody has a gun. Like, they're the only ones who are available to shoot anybody here would have been them, and none of them has a gun. So that's going to be it for them. So we go straight on then to the melee. And the only, the Reaver Mark 7 didn't leave the Velociraptor here, so we just have this giant melee in the middle here. So we're going to go in order of wits. When you're doing the fight, you're starting with wits. And so we have Ace Cannon leading with the 6 wits. Benedict Arnold also has a 6 wits. So both Team White members are going to fight first. Then we have Karina Karlsdottir with 5 wits, and Sheridan with 4 wits, Sven the Netmender with 4 wits, and then finally Agent 911 with 1 wit. 1 wits? 1 wit? Yeah, he's got a 1 in that score. And so that's going to be, I was actually thinking, oh man, Karina Karlsdottir kind of knew this was going to happen. She probably should have used this, +1 token to boost all her stats. However, yes, it still could have helped, but it still would have only given her 6 wits, and it's always the initiative tiebreaker is whoever's turn it is. So they still would have fought first, but still maybe, bad me for not thinking to use that for her last turn. So we'll start with Ace Cannon. Ace Cannon is going to fight. Now I'm just going to pause here. Okay, I just want to double check here with Agent 911 with these are the hits made against him. So these aren't attacks made against him. This is somebody in his space. There is a difference. So Ace Cannon is attacking. Ace Cannon has a longsword. And so attacking Sheridan. So Ace Cannon has a combat of 4. And Sheridan has a defense of 5. Now, one thing I'm forgetting to look at too is just, they're in a futuristic platter here. So if you're in a futuristic character in a futuristic platter, then you get bonuses as well. So there's no, but nobody here is nobody out of these combatants is futuristic, so don't need to worry about that. It is a attacker defender better by 1 because it is Ace Cannon's 4 to Sheridan's 5. Defender better by 1 is a hit. So he's hit. The longsword has a penetrate of 6. Sheridan has an armor of 2, so it's attacker better by 4. And that's a +1, so that is Sheridan gone. Sheridan has been taken out, and Sheridan will then drop his tomahawk into this pile of stuff. I'll just include it with Leo Vestri's stuff here. Sheridan, now, they could kill him, but now what I was thinking is Team White is kind of suffering a bit here, and there's no way they're going to claw back those points on combat if they just kill everybody, so they're actually going to imprison Sheridan. So Sheridan is imprisoned. When you kill somebody, you're getting 1 point in combat for them. When you imprison them, you get 3 points. So this actually gives them a big boost towards winning in combat score. So that is a big help to Team White. Now it's back to Team White again with Benedict Arnold. Benedict Arnold will now attack Karina's Karlsdottir. Let's see if we can put the lovers into prison together. And so Benedict Arnold has a combat of 7 to Karina Karlsdottir's defense of 5. So it's an attacker better by 2. An attacker better by 2 is a hit. So he has hit her. He is not using any weapons, is he? Just looking, he has a card here. He has a volley gun. Well, he couldn't have used the volley gun because he was in a dome to start. So he's hit. He has a penetrate of 2. And she has an armor of 2. So it's attacker better by 0. Attacker better by 0 is +0. So he's done 2 wounds to her. She had 3. She has 5. So she too is out. So maybe, yes, maybe I really should have put Karina Karlsdottir, given her that boost, because that almost certainly could have made the difference for her. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. So Karina Karlsdottir is now in prison with Sheridan, her love. Now we are on to, it's Sven the Netmender and then Agent 911. So Sven the Netmender, this finally, near the end of the game, we're finally pulling out a card. You're looking at Sven the Netmender's card here, you'll see that for some of his things he has question marks. For his melee, it's a question mark. He's an untested warrior. He's young. Not sure how good is he in hand-to-hand combat. So what we're going to do is we're going to check the luck twice on 2 cards. And whatever the higher number is, 6, so the clover is the luck, so 6 and 1. So 6 is the highest, so he has a 6 combat. So I will have to make note of that and include that on his sheet. So he has a 6 combat, and so he's attacking then, let's see, well, Benedict Arnold is wounded, so we will go for Benedict Arnold. So it is, Benedict Arnold has a reactive 6. They both have a reactive 6, so it really doesn't make a difference. So it's an attacker better by 0. Attacker better by 0 is a hit. And it is a penetrate of 4. He's quite strong to an armor of 3. So it's an attacker better by 1. Attacker better by 1 is -2, and he does 2 damage, so he's done no damage to Benedict Arnold. So then we go on to our last combatant, and that is Agent 911. Agent 911 is going to attack Benedict Arnold, and he is going to... so he doesn't attack particularly well with his special ability. It's just defending. He just sort of stumbles and bumbles into good fortune that way. So it's going to just be a straight up thing. So it's he's a 2 melee versus a 6 defense. It's attacker better by 4. So defender better by 4 is a miss. So Team White really came out on top on that one. And so that is it for the melee. Going on to the adventuring, we have a brand new adventure in the Colonial site where Robin Hood is. So he is testing, and it is Bugbears in the Rafters. They come out at night to break your dishes and terrorize the dog. Deal with them. So it is a 7 stealth challenge, and he does not match either of these symbols, does not match the time period. He does have a 7 stealth, however. So it is going to be an attacker better by 0. An attacker better by 0 is a failure. He did not do it. So it says, you never catch sight of them, but now your barn is leaning and your milk sours overnight. So we'll keep that there, and he will be dismissed. Dismissed to a black dome. Ooh. Oh, actually, that's not bad. I'll go up here. I think at this point it's just trying to nail down what points can be had and just do what can be done. I mean, like, just try and remove points from Team White and keep their own points for Team Black. I think the hope of the combat challenge is kind of lost here. I don't think that anybody's going to be able to reach it in time. Like, even Diaz Elgato. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you have to run all the way down to try and release them. So that's just never going to happen. He's never going to make that. So, free actions. There is no free actions to be done, and nobody has anything to trade. Nobody's in the same space. Nobody has free action abilities. So we skip free actions, go on to firing. In the firing phase, there's nobody to fire because anybody who is in combat, anybody who's out is in combat or doesn't have a missile weapon. So going on to the movement. So Commodore Blaylock. I think we'll move the Velociraptor onto there. Blaylock is going to fight these guys. And then Milena Arabato, she has a 7 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she's going to try and remove that Team White token there. Agent 911's in a fight. Karina Karlsdottir's in jail. The Ulfs. So we have this Ulf who moves 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's coming around there. Not particularly scared of Panopolis. I mean, not that she's a great fighter, but he's not either. It's going to be like a battle of the nerds to see these two try and slap fight it out. And then this one will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. So that's the Ulfs and Diaz Elgato. And then Sven the Netmender is going to stay in that fight. And where do I want? So his stealth is unknown. I mean, he could try that challenge. He's not the right age, but he could be good at stealth. Doesn't match any of the symbols though. So, you know what? I think we're just going to leave him there. I think he's got a good penetrate for, trying to fight these guys. And he's got that 6 combat now, so he's a good fighter. So we're going to leave him there. Okay, so that's it for movement, op fire. So the only op fire shot to be had here will so Panopolis. No, Panopolis does not have a gun. He has those gloves. Benedict Arnold has a gun, but he's in combat, and so it's going to be Reaver Mark 7. So Reaver Mark 7 is going to use the compression rifle and shoot at the Velociraptor as it comes at him again. So the Reaver Mark 7 has a point of 4 versus the Velociraptor's stealth of 4, but Reaver Mark 7 does get a +1 to hit with this weapon due to his specialty logo at the bottom, or symbol. So it's going to be a attacker better by 1. Now, he could hit the Velociraptor in this space here, which means that the Velociraptor is not getting any cover from the rough terrain. So it is just strictly an attacker better by 1. An attacker better by 1 says hit. So he's hit. Now this compression rifle has a penetrative 9, only does 1 damage. The Velociraptor has an armor of 4, so it's attacker better by 5. An attacker better by 5 says +0. So he's done a plink of damage onto the Velociraptor, who has 6 wounds. So really wasn't a lot of hope of doing much to it at that, but it was just had to try something. And so on we go to then melee. So in the melee, actually Commodore Blaylock leads the pack here. He has an 8 wits, and then it goes back to Ace Cannon, Benedict Arnold, Sven the Netmender, and finally Agent 911. So I just looked it up to confirm it, and it says right at the very back of the rulebook, the last page in fact, weapon age bonus. A character using a weapon card gains +1 to hit if the weapon card is his age and he is standing in a space of his age. So that means then Blaylock, who is futuristic, standing just on the cusp here of the futuristic platter, and is using, if he uses his blade cloak, which is pink, futuristic, he's going to get +1 to hit. Now, given that he is only a 4 combat against 2 combatants with 6 defense, he's probably well advised to do that. So even though the penetrate is 1 less, it does do 1 more damage. So it's kind of a trade-off. So I'm going to go with that. He's going to do that. So he's going to use his blade cloak, reveal that he has this, and so he is now a 5 combat to Benedict Arnold's 6. So it's only a defender better by 1 in this case. And look at that. Defender better by 1 is a hit. Defender better by 2, so that would have missed. So that made all the difference for him right there. So now, let's see if I go. So Benedict Arnold's 1. Defender better by 2 is -1, which is 2 damage. Puts Benedict Arnold to 5 wounds, which then is the end of Benedict Arnold. So it comes down to now, do we want to kill Benedict Arnold or do we want to imprison him? And they've imprisoned 2, do they want, so let me think. Yeah, it didn't take me long to think, like a couple seconds here. Definitely going to imprison Benedict Arnold because there's just no way. There's no way that anybody's going to get over here in time to break him out of prison. So he is imprisoned. And that's the end of Benedict Arnold for now. And so good job, Blaylock. So then we go on to Ace Cannon. And Ace Cannon will attack. So I'm just going to turn Corina Karlsdottir and Sheridan upside down to show that they're out of it. And so he will attack. I want to attack Agent 911 because he seems like the easiest choice, but it's just those abilities. So I'm not going to take that chance. I'm going to attack Blaylock. So he's going to attack Blaylock with his longsword. So he has a 4 combat versus a reactive 5 on Blaylock. So that is so it's an attacker better by 1. No, defender better by 1, and that is a miss. And now we're on to Sven the Netmender. Sven the Netmender is going to fight. So he's got his 6 combat versus the 6 react of Ace Cannon. So that is a attacker better by 0. An attacker better by 0 is a hit. And with attacker better by 0, it has a penetrate of 4. So that is, he's an armor of 3, so attacker better by 1 is a +1 damage. And he does 2, so that's 3 damage to Ace Cannon. He's down to 2 left. And something I just realized too when I was just trying to look up some rules things that I hadn't realized before. If you do an amaze hit and an amaze damage, the opponent is automatically KO'd, no matter how many wounds they have. I thought that was pretty interesting. I hadn't realized that rule before. I don't know if it's ever applied, but... And so now we have just the one combatant left, which is... Just double checking. Yep, which is Agent 911. So Agent 911 is going to fight. He has a combat of 2 to Ace Cannon's reactive 6, so it's a defender better by 4. And, oh, wow, he actually hit. So he's hit with a penetrative 2 to the armor of 3. Defender better by 1 is -2, so no damage, which is a shame for them because that could have been it. That could, and he was gone. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, oh, that would have been on the cusp. They would have been 6-3 in terms of the combatants. But anyway, it's getting close again. It's getting tight here, and yeah. Interesting. I wasn't now... And let's not forget the melee here, where we have the Velociraptor versus Reaver Mark 7. The Velociraptor has a wits of 5, as does Reaver Mark 7. So it's going to be a tie, but because it's the Velociraptor's turn, Velociraptor does gain the tie-breaking advantage. So Velociraptor is going to go first, has a combat skill of 8 versus Reaver Mark 7's defense of 1. So it is an attacker better by 7. An attacker better by 7 is a hit and an amaze. And his penetrate is 5 to Reaver Mark 7's armor of 7. So defender better by 2. And defender better by 2 is -2 damage. So that's, he does 4 damage. So that puts Reaver Mark 7 at 1 wound left. So Reaver Mark 7 is still alive, but at 1 wound. So that could have easily been the end of Reaver Mark 7 right there, if it wasn't for that thing, but it's the armor that saved him. Okay, so now we go on to Reaver Mark 7 fighting back. Reaver Mark 7 has a combat of 6 versus the Raptor's defense of 5, reactive 5. And so it is going to be an attacker better by 1. Attacker better by 1 is a hit. And then a penetrate of 6 to the Raptor's armor of 4. So attacker better by 2. Attacker better by 2 is -2 damage. So -2, he does 3 damage. That's only 1 damage to the Raptor, so that puts the Raptor now to 2 points of damage of 6. So the Raptor is still quite healthy and could probably be taking out Reaver Mark 7 next turn. Okay, that ends the combats. Adventuring, we have the one adventure happening, which is over here, where we have Milena Arabato in the futuristic labyrinth, and she's pulling a new card, and the card is Saving a Race, the 5, intend to destroy a low-tech world. At great risk, you could stop them. So it's an 8 honor challenge. She has an 8 honor. She does not match any of the symbols. She does not match the age. It's a difficult challenge, but she's got the ability to stop it. She's a good one for this. So it's an attacker better by 0. An attacker better by 0 is a fail. Boom, 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 boom. So other than a few evacuees, you fail to save an entire world of helpless aliens. So that one's going to stay there. And how are the Ulfs? Oh, the Ulfs are only a 3 honor, so that's not for them. And so Molina Arabato is dismissed to a Black Dome. So how are you in combat, Molina Arabato? And what do you have as your card here? She has a Trident. Is she strong enough to use it? Yes. Oh yeah, she's really strong. So yeah, that could be juicy. All right, so Molina Arabato is going to leave here and come over here. And that is it for the adventuring. So that is going to leave us at the end of turn 10. And it's really cooking up. It was looking good for Team White for a moment there where they took out the 2 combatants, but now it looks like Ace Cannon's going to go down, but Reaver Mark 7 is coming in to try and save the day. Can he do enough? We'll find out next time. So if you are enjoying this, please remember to hit like and subscribe. It does help the channel. If you'd like to see any other games on here, please let me know. I have plans of other games I would like to do and I'm thinking about, but always open to suggestions. And hopefully my schedule clears up a bit more that I can get back to doing more of this. But until next time, I'm your host, Craig Thompson Wood, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.